Alright guys, so we're going to work on trying to get this engine back together today. I got the whole top of the motor off here. We have a valve out, and that's where our problem was. We had a bad lifter inside the motor, and we need to go ahead and lap a valve and start reassembling it. So here's the old valve that came out. I need to get this spring off of here so I can put this valve guide back in the motor and then drop our new valve in. And we're going to use a little bit of valve lapping compound, and we should be able to grind the valve face. So you can see the valve face is the shiny part right here. We need to grind that into the seat so that way when it shuts it seals properly. If you don't do this, it will be like if you ever shut a door and you can see like a little light around the door where it didn't shut properly. That's the idea. So we got to make sure that we lap it in, and when it shuts it seals nice and solid. That way we don't lose any compression out of there. So how am I going to get this off? If this was in a car it'd be much easier, but it's not. So I'm going to have to try to compress this spring and then knock off this retainer here and then get the keepers out. So let's see if I can make this happen. I got the other one out. Alright, so these guys here came out. These are our retainer and keeper, and that's what locks the valve into place. So now you can see these two guys are split in half. They lock into that little groove on the end of the valve, and the spring takes your two pieces and wedges them together. I want to go ahead and remove this, and I can't get the valve guide off of the valve because when this broke, so here's our new lifter. It has a little adjuster nut on there, and the other lifter, some reason the adjuster nut broke. That's part of it laying right here. It's snapped off. I have no idea why that happened, but since it did happen, it was just hammering on the end of this valve. So it mushroomed it over, and now I can't get the guide to come off. So since that's broke, I'm gonna have to go over and grind that little lip off. And now it comes right off. So we're gonna go ahead and get the new valve, try to lap it in position, then we can start reassembly. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start lapping the valves. So we need the valve grinding compound, and the valve grinding compound is simply like a grease with sand in it. So it's like liquid sandpaper. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of that all the way around the edge of this valve. Probably enough. Kind of smear it around there nice and even. And we're going to go ahead and take the valve lapping stick, and we'll go ahead and bring it over to the engine. And drop the valve down in where it belongs. Take the suction cup. Stuff's kind of in the way. and simply wiggle it back and forth. It's better to do it with 2 hands, but I can't really fit in here perfectly. And this is going to match the 2 pieces up. You can hear it changes sound too when you move it to a different spot. It's quiet. And then you lift it and turn it, and it'll probably be loud again. Yeah, here it grinds. Let's pull it out and see if it did a nice job. I'll wipe it clean. And we're looking for a nice dull gray ring going all the way around. I just want to make sure that dull gray ring is even. And I have a couple spots where it needs to do it a little bit more. But I'm just going to repeat the same process. I'm going to put a little bit more compound on there, stick it back in, grind it a little bit more, pull it back out, and check it one more time. Okay folks, so I have the new valve. I lapped that surface there, so I ground that in, so that should seal good. There's the old valve removed. I'm going to go ahead and put on a new valve seal on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to fit this sucker. Just got to go ahead and get this seal worked onto there. Hopefully goes on halfway decent. Alright, that went on better than expected. So there's my new valve seal in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get my assembly lube now. This can's old. And I'm going to put a little assembly lube right on the valve guide. It's just like thick oil. Make sure I get that oiled up. Alright, I'm going to put some right around the valve guide here. A little on that seal. And hopefully that'll help it all go down in there. Alright, so here's my valve. I'm going to go ahead and put on my spring. This one kind of has like 2 retainers. There's one retainer. And here's a retainer and our keepers. So I'm going to go over to the bench and try to lock these in place. So here's our valve assembly ready to drop in the engine. Let's go ahead and take our new lifter. Here's our old lifter, here's our new lifter. Same. And take that assembly oil and go ahead and move this thing up. Oh no. And go ahead and climb over the side of the motor here. Take my lifter and carefully set it down inside the lifter bore. Now I can go ahead and take my valve assembly and I'm going to drop the valve assembly down in the top here. Grab my pry bar and I should have a clip tray here. Now if I remember correctly, I should be able to get this bar latched on to a little notch inside there. You have to turn the bar this way. There we go, got me started. And then if I get it pried down enough, I can install this little clip. Take this, pry this down. And oh man, it doesn't want to sit at the right angle for me. Like that maybe. There we go. Alright, so now that is held in place.